This is an important story, probably the most important story we're going to have in a long time. And I'm just going to read some notes here from the New York Times. A panel of federal judges, or an article from the New York Times. A panel of federal judges struck down North Carolina's congressional map on yesterday, condemning it as unconstitutional because Republicans had drawn the map seeking a political advantage. The ruling was the first time that a federal court had blocked a congressional map because of a partisan gerrymander. Judge James Wynn Jr. Had a 191-page opinion about it, said that the Republicans in North Carolina's legislature had been, quote, motivated by invidious partisan intent as they drew the state's congressional districts. The result, Judge Wynn wrote, violated the 14th Amendment's guarantee of equal protection. The ruling demands, this is important, the ruling demands Republican-dominated legislature redraw their maps by January 24th. He essentially gave them 3 weeks because we're getting ahead of the midterm elections, and not just midterm, but congressional elections in the midterm. And they have 3 weeks, Republicans have 3 weeks to redraw the lines so that as people file, they will be filing for districts that are not grossly gerrymandered. The court, according to the New York Times, the court also ordered an independent expert to begin preparing an alternate map. Republicans in North Carolina are challenging the decision. They're appealing the decision, so they're attempting to get away with this map. They declared that they did not gerrymander it for a political advantage, which is clearly the case. This is exactly what they've done. This is what they do historically. And the problem is that the Democratic Party has lost so many legislatures across the country. The Democrats are almost, there's irreparable damage that has been done to congressional maps over the last probably since 2000, but definitely over the last 10 years, the last 8 years, where they lost 1,000 seats across the country. The problem is when you lose on the state level, when you don't pay attention to the state level politics, you 100% give the advantage on the national level to the opposition party, to the Republican Party. So in President Obama's neglect of state legislatures, this gave Republicans an advantage on the national level. And this is playing out in North Carolina. So this is why it's critically important for Democrats to have that 50-state strategy, but not just 50-state strategy for the hopes of getting the White House, but a 50-state strategy for the hopes of getting state legislatures. Without that, you cannot get a fair shot at a Congress, at a House of Representatives that is actually reflective of the population. They're masters of gerrymandering. They have absolutely no problem creating safe seats for Democrats, particularly around black communities. They overpopulate. They draw the lines where they isolate off all the black community in one district, and that guarantees that a black representative, generally a Democrat, is going to get represented there, get elected there without any challenger for years to come. But by concentrating them all in one district, you're not putting them in competition in other districts. And that's just one example of gerrymandering. There's multiple methods of gerrymandering, and they have historically done this. Democrats have done this too. The problem is that over the last 16 years, it's overwhelmingly been done by Republicans, particularly in the last 8 years, because of the fact that Democrats do not have power on the state level in any substantive fashion. I mean, we're almost at the point in the life of the of America, in the life of America, in the life of the Democratic Party. We're almost at the point where the Republicans can call a constitutional convention and they have a majority of state legislatures and state governor seats to actually propose a constitutional amendment. I mean, we're really far gone in this way. And it's super important that we not allow our politics to only be nationalized, right? When all you think about, and this is the nature of our politics. This is the nature of Democratic politics specifically. Republicans, they do nationalize the races, but they run like hell on the state level. Democrats, they generally focus on national news, national issues. Not that they're not important, they are important, but they neglect these local and state races. And this has given the ability to, this has given an advantage to the Republicans like we've never seen, such that now Democrats, if you want to win and change how districts are gerrymandered, you can barely get into power because the people in power have created the rules and they've drawn the lines on the maps to ensure that you never get in power. Same thing with voter suppression. You give Republicans power, or you allow them to get this power on the state level almost unchallenged, and then they create an environment where they create rules and they create barriers to voting. So now not only are you going against the headwinds of a gerrymandered district, you're going against the headwinds of voter ID laws that are meant to disenfranchise so many millions of Americans. It's a formula. It's a formula, and it's a map, and it's a game plan that they have been implementing for a very long time. They have long-term goals for America, and they are working on them seriously, they are working on them one day at a time with a laser-like focus. And here we are almost at the culmination of these things.